When the clocks go back in hours, what do people working a night shift do? You watch the clocks roll back an hour with dread, hospital, and work that extra hour. Can only speak for when I had a night job. I worked the extra hour, and got paid the extra hour. When I was at Amazon, which was not an obligatory round-the-clock job like a hospital, they just didn't change the clocks till after night shift left. When I was in labor last year, it was when the clocks went back. I asked one of the nurses about it and she said they basically have to suck it up. My husband ordered pizza to the ward that evening and shared it with the nurses on my ward 'cause we felt so bad. You just work an extra hour. Paid, of course. You get paid for actual hours worked, not the difference between your clock in and clock out time. Billing software is programmed to accommodate for hour shifts like that. But if a particular workplace doesn't use a tool that does it automatically, the managers will communicate how to log it to get paid properly. Unless a manager has said otherwise. You're off when the clock says you're off. If that's 2 a.m., you're working the extra hour. Because it doesn't get to 2 a.m. until you've been through 1 a.m. twice. On the flip side, you're out an hour early when the clock shifts the other way. Suck it up and watch the clocks go back in corners. Try being on nights on a Navy ship coming back from deployment. Time shift happens every night at 0200 and for 8 days in a row you get to work an extra hour lol. 'Tis bullshit. In my country, you have to work an extra hour but you will be paid for it. When it's opposite and the clocks go forward, you get to work an hour less but still be paid your normal amount. My family used to own a 24-hour business. When clocks turned back in the middle of a shift, we paid them the full 9 hours. When clocks moved ahead they worked 7 hours but we still paid them for 8. Depends on the job. Usually you get shafted and have to work the extra hour, get 1 less hour. You work the extra hour and get paid. The only bad part about it is when you had an hour to go until break. And now it's suddenly pushed back another hour. We would get paid for the extra hour in overtime and the morning shift would get an extra hour of sleep. Conversely, if the clocks go forward we still owe them for 8 hours so we have to stay for that extra hour. It's stupid. I still work my normal 12 hours but get off at 5 instead of 6. In the spring I only have to work 11 hours. I have to stay until morning shift comes in. I get paid for the hour but management often tries to make me come in late before pay period ends. Nope, I always find a way to keep it. I worked night shift at Walmart during the springtime change once. I didn't think anything of it. I clock in at 10 p.m. and clock out at 6 a.m. Right? I just assumed I would be paid an hour less than normal. No big deal. One of my managers came around at 3 a.m. telling everyone they had to stay until 7 a.m. No. I left when I was scheduled to leave. And I quit shortly after for many reasons. They get paid. Suffer. Each company will have its own approach to handling the schedule. Overall, though, extending the graveyard shift by an hour, or reducing it by an hour, tends to be one of the simplest solutions. Workers who are salaried get paid a flat rate regardless of hours worked. Workers who are paid hourly must be paid for all hours worked. That includes an extra hour if their shift gets extended. In some cases that could also include increased pay such as overtime or a shift differential. Clocks going forward was a dream on a 12-hour night. Clocks going back was a nightmare.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Errorcast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.